random places I'm recording. We're doing another book talk today. We're talking about this little one. So this is the Dalai Lama's little book of mysticism, The Essential Teachings by, you guessed it, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. So this book, the first half of it is comprised of just these little snippety quotes from various speeches and things he's given. And then the second half is kind of a random deep dive-ish thing, kinda. It kinda just talks about a few of the key points in Buddhism, kinda. It's sort of just an intro of sorts, but also you kinda have to know a little bit about it. And yeah, it was just kinda weird. So I rated this 3 out of 5 because it wasn't my favorite. Now I've been loving the books on Buddhism and learning from the Dalai Lama. This wasn't that great. It felt very just disjointed as you're reading through these sections, and it didn't have any kind of flow. It just felt like somebody had just taken random notes from various speeches and was like, oh, this section's kind of cool, but like sometimes if something stands out, it only stands out to you and your psyche and what you're wanting to learn right now. It doesn't always apply to everybody. And it just felt very random, and there was a lot of emphasis on death, and as a pagan witch, that did not align with what I'm about. And like the philosophies for death are a little different, because like there's very much like death is the bad guy kind of an attitude, where I follow the Norse deity Hel. So when death occurs, it's not great, but I also have faith that she's there. And so that, I don't know, it didn't really align. And again, it felt so just randomly picked. It had no rhyme, no reason, no nothing. And it felt so like, again, if you were just watching his stuff and taking notes of things you kind of liked, and then you just published it for the first half, it just didn't have a flow like the other book did, where it was like The Art of Happiness, I think was what it was called. That one really flowed well, really put together well. This, not really, it just kind of felt random. And the second part of the book just was really boring, to be honest. Like it talked about a few different, like, I don't want to say the word scripture because that's not it, but that's what it felt like. Some more ancient texts of sorts and different things, and then kind of discussing those, but when you don't know the context of them, it kind of falls flat. And it felt like kind of if you'd never heard anything of Christianity at all, then you went to a Sunday sermon and you're like, huh, I feel like I should know some of this stuff, which I have had when I went to church the like less than 5 times I've ever gone. And they're like, flip to Matthew 24:19. And you're like, what? How do I find that page number? That's kind of how I felt, where they're talking about things but you don't really know. And it just didn't have the same magic and inspiration that I have found from other books, also from the Dalai Lama, and also just on Buddhism in general. It just didn't really have that for me. It just didn't really add anything to the conversation. It felt kind of like the outline of a speech of sorts. It didn't fit the other ones that I've been reading from the Dalai Lama, from things I've seen from him, and then also just Buddhism in general. I didn't love it, which is sad. I thought I would like this one, but no. So I would recommend this if you are a Buddhist and you want to have just a little snippety snip of some words from the Dalai Lama and you know a lot more of the background information. This is probably good for you. So anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. A huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, on Tuesdays I post exclusive book talks. On Thursdays, I post my audiobook, and then on Saturdays, I post my just whatever I'm up to. I am talking about being 15 years as a witch on Saturday, and then I'm also, throughout hopefully October, I'll be working through STOW. So if you want to check it out and a whole bunch of other stuff, it is always on patreon.com. Here on the main channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to appease the algorithm gods to let you know that I post almost every single day. Right now, my internet sucks so bad, so it takes some time, and sometimes it just doesn't happen, but I'm trying. It just doesn't want to sometimes, like 3 to 5 hours to upload. So sometimes you're just like, you know what? and then it fails. And you're like, you know what? Whatever. It's not gonna happen today. Cool. Joys of not being at home. So, anywho, thank you for watching, and until next time, bless be.